Let's go live. Okay, we're live. We're live. On both platforms. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lakeisha Michelle here. I'm about to do like a really quick workout, and then I gotta go to my parents because it's my mom's birthday. It's my mom's birthday. But before we get into today's festivities, see, I have to work out because I know I'm gonna eat something because I know my daddy is cooking. Y'all, my daddy be cooking some amazing. I just pray that it's potatoes, even though that has nothing to do with what my mother wants for her birthday. He can cook. Anyway, before I get into the festivities, listen, I want to give you guys one of the lessons that was just uploaded into the Good Tea for Life membership. Hey, my nails match. It must be just the neon vibe. This is called I Should Have Listened, and it's so good. And I'm just getting into, man, it's just so much. Like I just love the Bible because it's just mind blowing. Yes, thank you. Wish my mommy happy birthday. If it wasn't for her, I definitely wouldn't be here doing this because this woman made us do Bible lessons forever when we were kids. And I used to be like, I hate this. This is dumb. And look at me now. So here's another thing about that. You as a parent I've seen so many moms. You know, one thing I'm glad my mama, it's a lot of stuff my mama did that annoyed the crap out of me. She was not perfect. My mom, we can go down a list of whatever. But you got to be careful because you're planting seeds in your child's life. And a lot of times those seeds don't even start to flourish and grow until they get older. They're trying to live their life. And then you've planted all this stuff. Like I've seen mothers who let their insecurities as a woman, they start telling their girl, like their daughter, sit up straight, put your hair like this, and then give the girl a complex. Jesus Christ, keep your stuff to yourself, okay? Because you create storms in other people's lives. They didn't ask to be born. You had them. So don't be trying to put your insecurities on people. Okay, just a little lesson. Somebody need to hear that. But listen. And here's the thing. That's why we do this, because at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. So maybe you did it and forgive yourself, love yourself, but go pour into your children. I'm grateful for my mom. And this lesson is called I Should Have Listened. It's funny because you can use that. And I mean, how many things in my life, Lord Jesus, I should have listened. I should have listened. I should have listened. Unlike Keisha Cole, she was like, I should have cheated. No, we're not going there. I should have listened to my intuition. Do y'all remember Keisha Cole? That song was jamming. I have not had any coffee, by the way. This is just natural excitement. So I was reading, did y'all catch that? Y'all remember that song? That's when Keisha Cole was popping. Anyway, today I'm going to give you guys, I want you to read Acts 27, but I want to preface Acts chapter 27. That is a word. I want to preface this because I want to give you guys some background on what was happening. Paul was a Christian killer, okay? His name wasn't even Paul. He changed it to something. I forgot what it was. But he changed it to Paul because he was just trying to rebrand himself after he had, done so much dirt. Sometimes, ladies, we want to rebrand ourselves after we've done some dirt. Fellas, sometimes you want to change your name and rebrand yourself after some dirt you've done. Well, I'm here to tell you today that even Brother Paul, if he could do it, then we can do it too. So you are not what you have been and what you've been through. You can start anew today. Hallelujah, somebody. So Paul was like a gangster. He was angry. He didn't care. He was ruthless. And then he became this Jesus lover. And he's like, oh my God, I need to change my name. I'm rebranding myself. And I'm just going to spread this message of love and light of Jesus. And we're going to just go and flourish into the world and do the things. And so he was totally on mission, right? And so Paul got so crunk. He was so on fire. He was so all over the place, and in a good way. And what happened was people started hating, okay? Because he was drawing so many people to Christ. And Paul was like, I'm not just going to stay in my hood. I'm not just going to talk to the church people. I'm not just going to talk to the Jews. I'm going to talk to everybody. So I'm going to go over here to the Gentile, okay? Now, they got different rules. Now, these are two different church parties. Imagine these are two different church parties. He was like Pentecostal, and then the Gentiles was like the Baptist people. Well, Pentecostals believe that this right here is full of Jezebel. And the Baptist people say, hey, you love Jesus? Come on into the crib. So they all serving the same God, but it was just like, rule technicalities that really were dumb, okay? Because at the end of the day, God is looking at our heart. It doesn't make excuse for things, but God is looking at your heart, okay, and your intentions. And Paul knew this. And so Paul said, you too, with the ghetto bling nails, can serve Jesus, okay? You too, with the tattoo, can serve Jesus. You too, with the little blank of your drama and your stuff, you too can come to Jesus. Well, they was like, Paul, you taking it too far. We ain't say they can come with us like that. Paul, you supposed to be on our side. So now you're going to be over here. You're breaking the rules. We're throwing you in jail. So they throw him in jail. I'm giving you a really paraphrased version, but I want you guys to just follow me so we can get to the lesson. So they throw him in jail. And then Paul, even in jail, was still serving God. And he still had favor, and he still was prophetic. And Paul was healing people. He was delivering people. He was doing the dang thing, okay? He was popping. Even though he was persecuted, Paul was, he was like, still good. Now, he had the human emotions. He was frustrated. He was depressed. He was sad. He was like, Lord, what's happening? I'm doing all this stuff, and here I am. I'm trying to serve you, and I'm still suffering. Through all of the storms, Paul remained on mission. This is what I love about Paul. But then in this particular area of the scripture, in Acts 27, it's interesting because they're taking Paul off to Rome because they were like, Paul, you broke a rule, because Paul basically said that some people could do some stuff that it wasn't part of the rules where he was at. And then they was like, we're throwing you in jail. So they threw him in jail. Paul was like, y'all gonna try me in Rome. So they're like, okay, we're going to take you to Rome. So they gather the prisoners and they're going to go get tried in Rome. Okay. So they have to get to Rome by boat because, guys, back then, it ain't like they could just Uber it out. They had to there's no lift or any of these things. They had to just get in a boat and roll out on the sea. Okay. So Paul sets sail. Well, the people set sail. The people that take him, the prison captures, the guards, the army, they take him and they're going to Rome. And so he's on the ship with other prisoners. And these guys, I'm pretty sure they do this all the time. You would have to imagine that it's a normal thing to ship boatloads of prisoners to different parts, and they have to do it, right? So they are used to their routine. They don't need no consultation. They are like, look, this is what we do. We ship prisoners, and there's stuff that they would take, I would imagine. If I'm going to go to Rome on a ship, I might as well carry some stuff, some goods, some cargo, because we need to make use of this travel. So on this ship, there are the people who are shipping the prisoners, and then there are the goods, because maybe they're going to do some business while they're there too. That's pretty smart. So they're all going to Rome. And here's the deal. Even though Paul was a prisoner, God was still using Paul. God was still sending angels to Paul. God was still speaking to Paul. And so once they set sail, the wind and the weather got a little crazy, and it just wasn't a good time to go, right? It just wasn't a good time. And you could imagine they're like, no, we're going to keep going. And here's the thing. Paul was like, no, guys, I'm telling you, this is not a good time. And of course, you have to know that these people are like, I'm professional. I do this, Paul. You're just a prisoner. Chill out. And Paul's like, all signs say no. You guys are not supposed to be sailing right now. I have been kind of told by the powers that be that this isn't the thing to do, okay? Y'all need to sit still. And they're like, no, the winds look great. We're going to go. It don't even matter. We got food and supplies. Like, we good. So Paul was like, look, I had a vision, okay? An angel came to me, and they didn't want to listen. How many of you guys have had a moment in your life where you're doing what you normally do? You're just rolling like how you roll. Like, there's so many things that we do. Like, how about when you're in the car and you're driving and you're like, something tells you, go this way, but you don't listen. And then you go that way. And then on that way, you're stuck in traffic, there's a wreck, or you have a wreck, or something happens, and you're like, I knew I should have listened. Anybody ever felt like that? Somebody say yes in the comments right now. And let me pause and check out the comments because you guys are saying things. YouTube, hello from Michigan. Hello from Connecticut. Hey guys, let me know where you're listening from because I love to see where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. Who remembers that? If you don't remember that, it's okay. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Happy birthday to my mommy. Thank you so much. Good. You guys are listening. How many of you guys are thinking of a moment right now where you're like, I know I should have listened? Like, ladies, you meet somebody and you know he's no good, but there's something that excites you, even though you like, this ain't gonna go nowhere, but I'm gonna just trip out for a little bit, right? I'm gonna just kick it for a little bit. And your gut is like, leave him alone. But your mind and the less that be are like, but just for a second. 18 years later. Okay, So listen, I'm sorry. I know you love your kid, but this is what happens. Yes, indeed. Chicago in the house saying, Margaret, give me your email right now. Put it in the comments, girl, because I know you probably still do not have your login. Okay, so here's the thing. I love Carmen Sandiego. Okay, you guys know. Okay, that was my show live from Dallas. What's up? What's up? This is real tea. Then you get trapped. I love it. Northern Virginia in the building. What's up? Stockton, California in the building. Mimi, what's up? No caffeine and you preach. Rebrand yourself like Paul. Right. Listen, sometimes we have to start over. Hey, Margaret. I love it. Happy birthday to my mom. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes for mommy. Okay, so listen. Now, here's the thing. Storms are funny. I'm going to read you guys a little because I have notes here. So if you see me looking, because this is already in the Good Tea for Life membership area. If you guys have not joined, you can join at lakeishamichelle.com. And what happens is you get the printout of this, and I just took it off the thing. You get the printout of this, and you get discounts and bonuses on things that we have coming up. So anyway, storms are funny because sometimes they take us by surprise, and there is nothing that we can do, okay? Like there are storms in your life, you guys, that you just didn't see coming. So let me tell you why I'm referencing storms. Paul tells the people this is not a good time to travel, but they're so set on losing time and making up the days that they lost and just being in their routine that they don't take heed to the prophet. Even though he's a prisoner, he's still a prophet, and he's done plenty in life to prove that he's like who he says he is. But they're just like, we're not going to listen, and we're going to keep moving forward because we know this, because this is what we do. So meanwhile, Paul has a vision, and let me go get the exact words. Paul has a vision as they're on their way to Rome. And let me find exactly where. Because they were sailing for many days and they just were running into like small little obstacles. And so what I love about that, when they were sailing for many days, they were sailing and they already was having like this friction and this confusion. The wind they had all these little things that were kind of making their trip get off course and get off course and get off course. But they were so adamant about keeping going, even though there were signs that said, sit your butt down. Okay. So, basically Paul was like, look, I'm telling you guys, this voyage is going to be a disaster and it's going to end in loss. And not only are we going to lose the stuff on the ship, we're going to lose our lives. And so nevertheless, the people, the army men, they were like, no. The owner of the ship was like, no, we're not listening to Paul. Okay. We're not listening to Paul. Paul is a prisoner. And so they kept going. So there were so many warnings, you guys. What is a moment in your life where you've had so many warnings to sit it down, slow it down, this is not right? And instead of listening to your inner voice, instead of listening to whoever said it, even if they were a prisoner, even if it was a kid that was warning an adult, even if it was a mentor, even if it was a book that you read, even if it was a sign that you saw that prompted something in your soul and you knew that that sign on the billboard was for you in this moment in your life, you didn't listen. And so there's storms that you have that we just can't, we can't avoid. If someone dies, that's a storm of life that you have to just deal with because you didn't see it coming or you couldn't stop it or whatever. And that's just life. But then there's other storms that we are going through in our lives on today all the time because we created it. We had a hand in it. Do you feel what I'm saying? And so in this moment, I was reminded there's so many things that you can learn from this story, but I was reminded that there are some warnings that, we should have paid attention to. And I'm reminded to look at my life and say, are there any warnings right now? Or were there recently any warnings that I need to pay attention to? Or what from my past that's still affecting, that I'm still experiencing some of the aftermath? What can I learn? What can I just learn and share with my nephews, with my nieces, with my family, with you guys? That, I just want to keep sharing because I don't want anybody to experience the storm that I experienced. That's why I talk about abuse, because I don't want a woman to miss signs of crazy because you're trying to save somebody. Okay. No. You're not here to save anyone. Okay, so like there's things, there were signs, there were warnings that I could have actually paid attention to not have to go through years of domestic violence, right? There were things that I saw that I didn't pay attention to. There were people that said, he's not right, you should go. But I was in my own way. And so I want to remind you on this morning that you guys, there's just so many opportunities for us to keep up leveling in small ways that result in big results. In small ways that result big results, right? There's just that consistency of assessment. If you say every morning and every night, I'm going to assess my actions, I'm going to assess the warnings, I'm going to assess the things that are just coming into my life, because you have to know that you attract where you vibrate. Like the energy and the frequency that you put out is what you get back. And so your life is a mirror all day long of your fears, of your insecurities, of your confidence, of what you think is actually true. It will resonate. It will reflect. You will see it pop up in different ways. And in this story, I go through and show you guys really I just loved. I was so inspired by it about how there are storms, and even through the storm that we created for ourselves, God loves us enough to chase us, to save us, and turn things around. And yeah, you're gonna lose some things in these storms, you guys. There's some things that you have lost. There are opportunities that I have lost because I chose to, not listen and not pay attention to what was in my gut, what was in my heart. And so today is just a reminder that just like Paul was trying to tell them, listen, go read Acts 27. It's very interesting. Paul was like, look, y'all need to get y'all lives. Y'all not listening to me. And things are looking very bad. Like they're traveling and things are bad and they still keep going. And so then here's what's interesting. Hold on, you guys. Let me pull up. Hold on. What's interesting is they set sail. Winds and stuff are shaky. They don't pay attention. They sailed slowly for several days and they had a hard time. Okay. And then Paul spoke to the crew and said, listen, if we sail now, our ship is going to be lost. People going to die. It's going to be a hot mess. But the owner was like, no, we're going to keep going. So then all of a sudden this huge storm comes. And then when the huge storm comes, I love how we be like all dramatic, falling on the floor, crying, mad. We mad. We mad. Why are we mad? You mad because you caused it. You mad because you caused a storm. Growing up, like people used to wake up or stand up in church and be like, but the devil thought he had me and they was going to repo my car. Excuse me, that's not the devil. That's a storm that you caused in your life because you didn't listen to the basic rules of life, which is pay your bill. Mm-hmm. That's what that is. There's so many storms that we have, and storm can be big or little. But there are a lot of things that we deal with because we created it. We just didn't have enough wisdom. So the prayer is always to ask for wisdom and to stop blaming things and just go, you know what? Lesson learned. Get in the energy of what's the lesson to learn here? What is this storm here to show me today? That is the energy that you should be in, because at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that we experience as humans, acquiring more debt and more expenses that is higher than the income that we bring. So then we can't live the life that we want because we're stressed out because we're trying to just work for bills. I know. Like I get it. Because we created it. And then we mad at other people. She just trying to sell her stuff. Because I do business. Rightfully so. But you mad because you don't have the money. If you had the money, we'd be in. So where are we really mad? We're mad because we misused the money. So whose problem is it? Who created the storm? See, a lot of people doing business with attitudes about their money. I remember when I used to do business and be mad and want to quit my business because I mismanaged the money and the stuff. And so now I don't feel like selling. I don't feel like doing because I messed up. I'm mad. Ain't no clients. It is clients. I'm just lazy. I'm just not being resourceful. I'm just not fill in the blank. Time to take responsibility. And it's okay. Don't get guilty. Don't get shameful. Don't get embarrassed. Get grateful that God still loves us and his love isn't conditional. So When I mess up, Lord, I'm sorry. Look what I did. Oh my gosh. Okay, show me my next best step. Because that's the kind of God that we serve. He's not conditional. We're conditional. We want to shout on Sunday when we got our check. Some of y'all got paid on first. God is good. God is good. And then on Friday, you've spent it all and you're like, I just don't know when it's going to come through. I don't know when the storm is going to be over. Like you guys, we're like bipolar. And a lot of times the things that we deal with is just because we made bad choices. And I'm including myself. I'm not above this message. Okay, boo? Because life is decisions. Your life is just a result of decisions that you make every single day. People keep saying they want to lose weight. Every single day, multiple times a day, there's a choice that you have to make about what you're putting in your mouth. There's a choice that you have to make about the size of your plate every single day. What? It ain't about nothing else. You need no motivation. You need to look at your plate size because that's a choice. And it is tough because we're human. So the human part of us wants to enjoy. And so the question is, how bad do I really want what I say I want? And what is it costing me to just keep not listening to these signs that are just everywhere? Do you know how many budget books I bought? Do you know how many goal-setting things and how many things that you buy? And when you look at them all, put them next to each other, they're all the same. It's just when you get tired, then you'll be like open to just finally doing something. And so they're at sea. Paul told them, look, y'all. Okay, in verse 10, Acts 27:10, Paul speaks to the crew and he says, sit y'all tails down somewhere. This is not the right time. I know I'm a prisoner. I know what it looks like. I'm not trying to just do some type of weird escape thing. I'm just trying to tell y'all this is not the time. So they was like, Paul, you know what you're talking about. So then verse 13, a gentle wind came from the south and the men thought it was good. So they stuck to their plan. So then they stuck to their plan, pulled up the anchor, and they start sailing along the coast of Crete. But soon a strong wind came, boom, hit them like they didn't even know what was happening. Just, oh my God, everything was happening and they didn't even know. The wind struck the ship and then they couldn't sail against it. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever been on a boat, I've been on a boat where it's really, really windy and my nerves was skited. I don't even like I'm not really here for the cruise ship life. I'd rather be in a plane because it's going to be like a cruise ship. It's just way too much dramatic. I can't. So anyway, listen, they on a boat. They like thinking they smart. They are smart, but they weren't listening. They weren't using wisdom. Paul said, don't go nowhere. Paul is a proven prophet. It ain't like he was just somebody random. Like, dude had a track record. So the sailors are freaking out because the storm is so bad. It just comes out of nowhere. And it's like, oh my God, what is happening? For several days, they couldn't see the sun or the stars, it says in verse 20. They couldn't see the sun or the stars. Do you know what that means? You're out in the sea. How many of you guys have ever been in the sea? When you go in the sea, you feel as small as you feel so small as like the freckle on my forehead. Like you just feel really small. This is the sea and there you are. I can't even point to the freckle right on the camera. That's how small you feel. And it's like in that moment, I'm very humbled. That's why I love being in the ocean because I'm just like, I am nothing. Like this thing is so calm, but it also can crush and kill me. And that's the beauty of nature. So they're out on a boat and they don't see the sun. They don't see the moon. Like what? My nerves was bad reading this story. Like can you imagine? And sometimes we go through things in life where you can't see a way out. Like it looks like you're going to die. So they're freaking out because they're like, oh my God, this wind, literally, it says they gave up all hope of being saved. So some of you guys, even right now, have been feeling like you're going through a storm and you want to give up. You feel like you can't see the sun. You can't see the moon. You don't know what day it is. You're tired. You're worn. This storm is wearing you out. It's rocking you back and forth. And it's just dark and you don't see anything and it feels void. And in this moment, you want to jump ship. In this moment, you want to give up. In this moment, you want to lose hope and stop using faith. In this moment, you are just feeling lifeless and you feel like you're just done. It's over. That's what these storms look like. And a lot of times, you guys, we create them. And my biggest, what I hear is that don't jump into guilt and shame. Jump into God, jump into God's promises because he's not conditional. So although I just turned away from the promises, although I got doubtful, although I just trusted in myself more than you, Lord, I'm sorry. And I'm here and I know you can still save me and I can use this as a testimony. So although I did not listen, I am open and I know that you are a God that you can't lie. Like your promises are your promises. And if you do this, listen, if you do this, I'm going to just continue to keep serving. We turn away. God don't turn away. We turn away. We get a little money and we forget to pray. We get a new man. We forget to pray. You get down and you forget to pray because you just so down. You like, I'm going to pray when it's good. I'm not going to pray when it's bad. But there's no conditions. And so Paul, he stands up, I imagine. The ship is just it's falling apart. Things are happening. The wind is blowing. It looks like we're going to die. We've been out here for a long time. I don't know what day it is. Oh my God. None of us. So look, it says, since none of us had eaten anything for a long time, Paul stood up and told the men, you should have listened to me. Paul is just bold, y'all. Paul didn't care. Paul was like, I don't care that we're in a storm. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all don't listen. Y'all should have listened. He said, now I beg of you, cheer up because you're going to be safe. Only the ship will be lost. I belong to God and I worship him. And last night he sent an angel to tell me, Paul, don't be afraid. You need to be at that trial in Rome. Therefore, I'm going to save the lives of everyone on the ship. Now, what I love about God is that even when you're surrounded by a bunch of hot mess people who have no vision and they're doomed to perish because they don't want vision. They just want to be in about themselves and be selfish and caught up. When you're around, because of the blessings of God and the calling on your life, God will save you because you chose to serve him. And you don't have to be perfect in order to be qualified to be saved. Come on, somebody. You don't have to be perfect in order to be qualified to be saved at this shipwreck situation. So whatever you're going through today, you don't have to be perfect. You can turn to God and you don't have to literally be stuck in this storm. You guys, we can choose in the storm. Now, what I love is that the storm wasn't over when Paul was speaking. What I love is that the storm wasn't over while Paul was speaking and saying to them, be encouraged. Be encouraged during the storm. What does being encouraged require us to do? Somebody today, what does being encouraged require us to do in the middle of the storm? What does it require? I'm going to wait for somebody to work that out. I'm going to wait for somebody to figure that out. Figure that out. My notes are always so good. It's crazy how I'm reading the notes and I'm like, oh, that's good. And then I just got that and I knew that I felt that. I was like, that's really good for me. This is really exciting for me. Like if you say, Keisha, you annoying, it's okay because I'm blessing my own soul. But listen, God is just amazing because the more you just keep sucking this information up, it's in your DNA. And where I was getting with the point is Paul, during the storm, said that they had to change their mental state. Somebody need to catch that. During the storm, not while the storm was up. He didn't say when the storm is over, be encouraged. He said during the storm, be encouraged. So that tells me that I need to have faith in the storm. I need to have an altered energy during the storm. During the storm, I got to figure out how to vibrate with courage in the middle of what looks like death. I've got to figure out how to vibrate, how to have a frequency and an energy and a feeling of courage, even though all signs point to hell. Sips tea and keeps reading. Cheer up. I am sure that God will do exactly what he promised. God is able to do just what he said he would do. It ain't up to you. It's not conditional. Okay? It's not conditional. It did say that in the Bible. It says, I am sure that God will do exactly what he promised, but we will be shipwrecked on an island. So sometimes stuff is messed up. I remember the day after the worst fight and the last fight that I had with domestic violence. I remember the next day. And there was so much, I felt so shameful. I was full of guilt. I was hurt. I was a lot of things. And I remember waking up and just kind of like trying to the storm is over, right? But I'm literally looking in the mirror and I hadn't seen myself. I wasn't worried about myself at that time. I was just trying to stay alive. And so the next morning I get up and I go to the mirror because I kind of passed out, And I look in the mirror and everything, oh my God, I looked a mess. My eye was swollen, my hair, and I just was looking at myself. And I knew, there was just so much aftermath of the storm that I played a part in. Oh, it's not just the abuser. I had a part to play as well. And so it's like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's a lot of aftermath I have to do it. First of all, my mother's calling me to tell me that we have family pictures and my family doesn't know what is actually happening right now. So we have family pictures with my grandmother at the time who had dementia. And so this is really important because she's up in age and she has dementia. My mom feels that we need to. And now that I even think about that, it's like, think about it. My mom has dementia now. That was only 10 years ago. Gosh. And my mom knew she was having problems with herself. That makes my heart just go, wow. My mom knew. I found a tablet where my mom was already trying to practice how to get home, and we're trying to remember things because she felt her memory going. You guys, gosh, that is just a crazy thing to think about, and my mom's calling me to have pictures with my grandmother, my great grandmother who has dementia, which is her mom. So this is crazy. This is happening, right? And I'm like, the storm is over, but there's a lot of aftermath. Paul says we're going to be shipwrecked. So sometimes we like to just get out of a storm that we had a part to play in. We want it to just end and be peaches and cream because God is God. No, y'all still have to deal with y'all's consequences. I still had to deal with the aftermath of the storm. And so Paul tells them here, he's like, look, don't be afraid. You're going to stand trial before the emperor. You're blessed. Paul is blessed. Paul is in the storm, but God is letting him know that I'm with you. I don't leave you just because things are shaky. And then to the other people, he allows Paul to still be an encourager in the storm. And he says, listen, cheer up. I'm sure that God will do exactly what he promised, but we will be shipwrecked on some island. He ain't say what island. We're going to be somewhere random. We're not going to know where, and we're definitely not going to know if they can kill us on this island. Like, we don't even know. Like, we could possibly die there. I don't know. But what we do know is we're going to get out this water. You have to be okay with the aftermath of your actions. I have to be okay. And I learned firsthand, being in a relationship that long, I learned first, like, people sometimes think that I'm just so nonchalant and I don't care, but I'm just like, when you almost die 1,000,000 times, there's nothing else you can do besides kill me. So unless you're going to kill me, player, everything else we can get through. That's the way I look at life. But when you think about all of these moments that we have in life, bills and, relationship drama and all this stuff, you guys, you're going to get through it. You had a part to play in it. So there's going to be some aftermath. But hasn't people got through what you're trying to get through right now? Yes or no? Let me see in the comments. Haven't somebody got through what you feel like you're going through right now? Yes or no in the comments. Let me just see if y'all awake with me this morning. I don't know. Let me just see. Yes or no in the comments. I don't know. So here's the deal. Oh, thank you. Right. You guys saying, yeah, right. Okay. So the moral of the story is, we better wrap this up. Moral of the story, and I have a very organized, detailed outline worksheet that you guys can do to actually journal. And my goal for having this conversation with you is so that you can go and assess your life and look at the lessons and get wisdom, because wisdom would have kept these people out of this storm. Wisdom would have allowed them to be able to keep their ship. They had to start throwing stuff out the ship. See, some of you guys, that's a whole other video. Some of you guys, like when things happen, we immediately want to shrink. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, oh my God, it looks like we're going to lose our house. So let's start shrinking. Let's start shrinking instead of getting into faith. There are moments where it's smart to get rid of things. But because on the ship, in the Paul story, they're on the ship starts, the storm is going crazy. So they have to start throwing out their valuable goods into the ocean. So like, we lose things. We've thrown out parts of our heart. We've thrown out so much valuable things that we could have kept if we had the intelligence, if we had the wisdom, but we weren't wisdom seekers. We have to become wisdom seekers because that allows us to be prosperous. Because think about it. Solomon asked for wisdom. Solomon was one of the richest, youngest people because he asked for wisdom. And wisdom allows you to make the right moves because you're listening to what you're listening and applying the knowledge that you receive. And so have you ever met somebody that's so smart they still dumb? You so smart, but you still do dumb stuff. Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. Because they're not looking for wisdom. And so you and I have to search for wisdom, okay? And in this is a moment, a lesson to me that it's just like all those moments you should have listened in your life. And I love it because they talk about for 14 days and nights, we've been blown all over the Mediterranean Sea. But about midnight, late in the midnight hour, I wonder this where they got that from. God's gonna turn it around. Hey, it's gonna work in your favor. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Okay, Fred Hammond. I don't know what song that is. That's one of them Fred Hammond songs. But in the midnight hour, they realize, like, oh, we're close to ground. And long story short, they get to land. They meet these people. Paul starts praying for these people and healing these people. These people give them food. They end up getting another ship. And so then they can get on the road. So the very prisoner that they have is the very reason why they're blessed. And God turned it around for them after they had been at sea, given up hope. They thought it was over. They were looking at their circumstances and basing their moves. They looked at their bank account and start cutting off stuff. How many of you guys have like, oh my God, let me cut off everything because I don't know how I'm going to pay this. And so now let me start shrinking. Well, if you start to shrink instead of getting into faith, that shrink energy is just going to shrink everything around you. You start being mean to your man, then y'all have an argument, then y'all break up over money. How many marriages and relationships break up over money? Because your energy is retreat. Your energy is not faith. Your energy is not, God can still turn this around in the midnight hour. That's not your energy. Your energy is, let me just go act like everybody else in my environment. When the struggle storm comes, I'm going to start throwing all my valuable things over ship. And then the storms chills out, you get some things, and guess what you do? Every time things get tough, you start throwing things overboard. Why? Because you're not practicing faith. Come on, somebody. Listen, I got to go. There's a lot actually happening. Let me just give you guys, I hope you guys understand that this right here, we're going to have to unpack this week. So this is just the beginning. If you're in Good Tea, you already have this lesson plan, and it comes with an audio lesson. Okay, so you can get this at LakeishaMichelle.com. And you actually can download this and go through this lesson in your quiet time. It's about 20 minutes. You guys, you go through it and you do the work. Do the worksheets. Work it out, okay? Now, what else? What are the other church announcements? Does this make sense, you guys? I want you to read this, Acts 27. Does this make sense, you guys? We're going to chew on this all week, and there's going to be a lot that comes from it, and I pray that it bless your soul. But my goal for you guys and my intentions for this lesson is for us to understand that when you live by faith and not by sight, that's the life that we seek to live. You know, through Christ, we can have all of the freedom, all of the abundance. Walking by faith is not following intuition, right? I mean, walking by faith is following your intuition and listening to the still voice, listening to the nudges, listening to the warnings, and moving accordingly and being in constant communication with God, because he will send you warnings, whether they come through a book, a plane, a train, a person, a dog, a kid. There's going to be warnings. And so some of the storms, we also have to recognize in this lesson that a lot of the storms we walk into happily because we didn't listen. And here's the best part. God loves you enough, even in your mess. He is greater, and he wants you in the midnight hour. He will still come and save you. He will still come love on you. He will still send you some help with some random people on the island. That's the God that we serve. And so this lesson excites me for multiple reasons. We're going to unpack it this week. If you're in the membership area, it's $12 a month, okay? Like $12 a month to get these downloads. Someone said, why are you charging for the Lord? Get up. Stop that. That's a mindset, and that keeps you broke, first of all. It's called business, and I'm happy to do so. Second of all, you can listen to this and never sign up. Either way, do the work. The Good Tea for Life membership gives you the downloads. That is work and labor that Lakeisha Michelle put in. I have to record the audios, make the PDFs. Do you know how long it takes to write this stuff and design this stuff? And then Also, you guys, my online concert, my first online concert, that's a concert workshop, which is where I'm using my music that I write, but there's workshop and lesson plans that go with it. You guys get that for free as a member of the Good Tea for Life membership. So all you have to do is go to LakeishaMichelle.com and look for the Good Tea Mindset School. That's $12 if you choose. If you don't, just do this and listen to me and take notes and bless your soul. All right. Girl, you are blessing me. Redirect and transform your mind. I like the energy. Thank you. Sweet music. I love your show. Take care. Thank you. Good. You have to do the work. I love the sea. Me too. Amen. His grace is sufficient. Exactly. This is real tea. Yes. Good. Okay. Good. So another announcement, and you guys will see me going live later. I have a masterclass that I'm super excited about, you guys, and it's going to teach you all about. Let me go and get the details. It's on LakeishaMichelle.com right now, so you can actually go and check it out. But it just dawned on me, the strategy that I use to teach for free and then sell my course, my product, my whatever I'm selling at the moment, right? That strategy, that's a six-figure strategy, you guys. And I want to show you guys, I wanted to show, I have a lot of coaches and authors and speakers and people that want to turn their knowledge into a product or service. I want to show you guys how to speak and teach for free. And then a percentage of those people that you speak and teach and give value to for free will sign up for your courses and programs. Just like the members who are in the Good Tea Tribe. Like this is Good Tea for Life show. And the people that get this content, which you don't get this unless you're a member, these people pay $12 a month to receive additional things, right? And be in the private Facebook group. And how do you do that? How do you create something out of nothing? We created that on a live stream. So I'm going to give you the strategy that I use to map out all of the things that I want to do and still serve people and essentially have conversations that turn into cash. How many guys are interested in creating cash? This strategy alone, at an event recently, in 1 hour of speaking, created $20,000, $870 worth of revenue in that hour from me talking. This is not like a made up number. This is like, I should have just, in my little video, I should have actually showed you guys where I was actually doing it. I'll find it and do another video. But the strategy is just powerful. It's crazy. It's a strategy I use to sell all my stuff, like all my stuff, services, coaching packages. So if you're interested in that, let me tell you what you need to do next. If you're interested in the 20K masterclass, because that's what it's going to be. It's happening this Thursday. You only have 3 days to enroll. If you enroll, cool. If not, no biggie. I'm always going to continue to serve you guys. The number to text is 214-919-5443. If you want the 20K masterclass, it's $97. And I mean, literally, you can use it immediately. I've had people use this and they speak for free at a Starbucks. They go to somebody else's event and they speak for free in person. You don't have to have no online following. They didn't have any of that. They didn't have a website. They didn't have any of those things that we think we need in order to start. And you use this technique and you close clients. It is a powerful strategy. And I mean, literally, it's the exact strategy I use when I go speak for free. But Pastor, I'm at work watching Grace. So Kevin is crazy, you guys. You guys go follow Kevin Goins. He's awesome. He is just in the tribe, in Lisa Nichols' tribe, and he joined my online course magic tribe, and he has his own thing called Owning Your Brilliance. It's pretty awesome. Thank you. Yeah, $12 we came up with $12 as a group. One thing I believe is, creating something that people want, and that's what we came up with. It's kind of like a Netflix thing. Like Netflix deserves more than $10 for all of those movies, but it's for the long term. And it just makes the content there so you can consume it whenever you want. It will go to $19 after this week. We're taking it to $19 and it'll be $19 a month. Kevin had me laughing, you guys, because we were all hanging out the other night with Lisa Nichols, and we were all having dinner after Nikki Speaks event, which was amazing, the Voice Conference. And Kevin goes, "This is my pastor. I'm paying for my pastor's food." I was done. Kevin, I was done. Love you, man. Love you. Your energy is just consistent and contagious and amazing. So definitely go follow Kevin Goins, Goins. Anywho, this 20K masterclass is going to be amazing. And here's the number that I want you to text. It is 214-919-5443. If you're interested and you have questions, the details are on LakeishaMichelle.com. I'll send you all of that. So just text the number. Let me put it in the chat. Hold on, y'all. And some of you guys are like, oh my God, 20K? Use it to make $2,000 or $1,000. The technique is the technique and it works. And I'm definitely excited to teach it to you guys because I realized, like, do you guys know that you can go talk to someone else's audience and close a guap in 1 hour? And then these people are in your tribe and you grow these people, you help these people, you serve these people, and they're going to give you more things that they need from you. And then you just build this amazing soul-led business from helping people, genuinely helping people. And it's fun. This morning I had a coaching call with one of my groups, and it was just awesome because a shout out to Catherine. She was like, look, she said, you pointed out something that I already knew, but I just been doing it. And she's like, I just want to tell you, like, I've never gotten this much value from like the group coaching. I was like, okay. Like, that's so fulfilling to me. Like, oh my gosh. And she's making money. And then she talked about when she didn't make her goal that we set, it was okay because she understands the faith, and she understands. I was just blown away. I was like, yes, yes, yes. This is why I'm alive, you guys. This is what I thrive off of, helping and serving. So whether you're in a paid program or not, I love you. And I will always share with you and teach because that's just what you're supposed to do, I believe. Anyway, the numbers in the comments. If you know you want to be in the 20K masterclass, if you want to join Good Tea and grab the conversation that we had today and actually do the worksheet that comes with it, and listen to the audio program that comes with it, you get that along with a bunch of other ones that are in there. And I'm going to just keep adding lessons to that. And it's just going to become my Netflix mindset thing. I don't know. I'm trying to give y'all a reference. Netflix, bunch of movies. My version of Netflix. It's going to be Lakeisha. Never mind. That's not going to sound right. I'm done. Throw it all away. You guys, the number is there. If you have any questions, text. And that's it. I'm done. It's my mommy's birthday. I'm about to work out and go kick it with my folks for the rest of the evening. I love you all. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Text the phone number if you have any questions. God bless you. Everything you say gives me so much help and truth for my life. Yes, thank you. That means so much. Yes, thank you so much. I love you guys. Anything you need, LakeishaMichelle.com is always available in the chat. You can hit me up. Everything comes straight to the phone, y'all. I love you. Peace out.